Hi guys, as usual it's me, just a voiceover, and you're watching Review Machines. The other day we made a video about ATV motorbike SR21. That material and the bike itself turned out to be quite interesting. That is why we decided to compare it with other bikes and dirt bikes. And today we are ready to make such a battle, so meet the competitors. ATV motorbikes SR21 and Chaud, and a couple of dirt bikes are ready to go. There are two different approaches to the offroading: speedy and jumpy dirt bikes and slow but torquey ATV bikes. Today we are going to find out who is the most efficient at offroading. It's high time to begin, and firstly, let's look closer at the bikes. ATV motorbike SR21. All the details you can't find at our previous video about this bike. Now I just remind you of the main facts. The bike has the simplest construction. The engine is 8 HP Chinese Lifan. The weight of the bike is 99 kilos. The transmission consists of CVT and huge torquey sprocket. Only rear view has a disc brake. The huge advantage is the most comfortable and soft front and rear suspension, and the luxurious cozy seat. Besides, it has big low-pressure wheels, and as a result, the bike is so comfortable. Meet Michael and his ATV bike Chaud. I should mention this bike is quite popular, cause it proved to be cheap and rather efficient. The bike is equipped with 125cc engine, 7 HP power and mechanical gearbox with 4 inches. The weight of the bike is 90 kilos. Here we again can see big low-pressure wheels with mud tires and disc brakes. There are also front and rear suspension, but it's tougher than at SR21. Unlike previous bike, there is an electric starter and some additional lights like turns and stop signal. By the way, it's the only bike today which is equipped with the reverse gear. It often does a lot of good when moving across country. Dmitry and his dirt bike Motorland Apex 125. It's a simple Chinese dirt bike with 9 HP 4-stroke engine and mechanical 4-inch gearbox. There is a front and rear suspension, standard for dirt bikes, and hydraulic disc brakes. The weight is only 70 kilos, but the carrying capacity is 150 kilos. Besides, there are some slight modifications in the construction: new carburetor, wires and exhaust. As a result, this bike is completely ready for the race. And we have one more dirt bike. Meet Denis and his BSE bike. Again, it's Chinese dirt bike. The brand BSE is quite popular. Their bikes prove to be cheap but decent. There is the same 125cc engine and 4-inch gearbox. The weight is 72 kilos. The front wheel is 17 inches and rear one is 14. Actually, the bike is absolutely like previous one, but the manufacturers are different. And I think it's enough of theory. Let's move to the practice right now. And all the competitors are ready for the race. They are now standing on the start line. Meantime, I should mention one more thing. You may ask me, why we didn't invite more serious enduro or all-wheel drive bikes like Rocco. The matter is, today we have one of the cheapest bikes on the market. We will discuss the prices a bit later, and now let's have a ride. And while we are riding, I would like to say a few words about my SR21 bike. I've had it for almost a season, and now I can give some feedback. It's the simplest bike with the simplest design, so do not expect much of this bike. But I can say it's rather practical. It's not very fast, but torquey. 2 people can easily go by it. Moreover, it can be used with a trailer to carry some cargo. As to the other bikes, I haven't owned them, so I can't say much about their performance or reliability. But their owners also are satisfied with the bikes in general. And now let's compare them with each other. And as usually we start with a drag race. Let's find out who's the fastest. And now I give my bike to another rider, cause we are lacking of a cameraman, so I'll take the camera and do my job.
Внимание! Марш!
As we can see, the dirt bike undoubtedly is the fastest. Scout takes the second place, and the SR21 is the last. Let's make one more run.
Внимание! Марш!
And again we have the same results. The dirt bike is the fastest, and two ATV bikes has approximately the same speed. By the way, dirt bikes have 70 km per hour maximum speed, and ATV motorbike only 45 km per hour. Well, it's all clear now, let's move to the next test. Now let's see how our bikes can get over the sand hill. Firstly the simple track, and Scout is trying. No switch. The Dirtbike Apex also flies here without a hitch. But BSC Dirtbike has some difficulties here, making a slight mistake. And the SR21 without any problem. Now we try the more complicated path here. And all the bikes are getting through the test this time. And another more complicated task with steep ascent and loose sand. And again all bikes overcome this task. We need a harder one. I think this hill is suitable. Scout and dirt bikes take this ascent as we can see, but SR21 gets stuck here, maybe because of a little more weight. And the most complicated hill for today is taken by Scout and one dirt bike. Other bikes failed here. Now let's look how the suspension works. Undoubtedly SR21 is the most comfortable, its suspension is the softest. Other bikes are definitely tougher. We can see now the difference in the suspension systems. The dirt bike and Scout have some kind of a sport suspension, it's tougher but more sustainable. As to SR21, it's more comfortable and its shocks have quite large travel. There are a lot of hammocks at this hill, and we can see that the bikes go here in the different ways. SR21 slightly jumps here. Scout jumps a little bit higher, and the dirt bike jumps the highest. Then we are facing some off-roading obstacles, and here we expect our ATV bikes to show better results than the dirt bikes, especially SR21. The matter is it has quite torquey engine that is considered as advantage for moving in mud. In fact, the results turned out to be quite different. SR21, instead of winning this competition, suddenly gets broken. Its chain came off and tore apart. In this way, this bike quits our battle. And while the rest bikes go off-roading, let's speak about the prices. As I said, today we took the cheapest bikes. The price of a CR21 is $1,000. Scout costs $1,200. The Dirtbike Apex costs $800 and BSE $900. And few words to sum up our battle. A CR21 is comfortable and practical bike that may be useful for households and everyday use, but at off-roading it's much worse than other our bikes. On the other hand, if you choose a dirt bike, it's absolutely not suitable for everyday use. As to the Scout, I think it's a golden mean between them. It can be used both for fun rides and for everyday use. Well, let's go today. Thanks for watching, guys. Please consider subscribing the channel if you liked this video. Stay with us, it will be many more interesting materials here. Goodbye.